Welcome back to What Arty Noobs. This is a Grille. It's the Tier 5 German SPG, which is now the entry level for new players coming into the game if they want to play on the German line. It's a 15cm howitzer mounted on top of a carriage that was actually taken from the Hetzer, which was also taken from the Panzer 38T and also from the Light Viz 38, because it's made in Czechoslovakia, or what was Czechoslovakia at the time, at the Pilsen Works. In fact, they used the same carriage for the Marders as well. Well, this one is located on the northeastbourne of highway, and it's under the command of Moose. And the good thing about the Grille is it's got 540 alpha with a burst radius of 7 meters, and it'll penetrate 38mm of armor. But one of the other good things about this Arty is that if you're firing at extreme range, you can get the shells to land on top of the targets. They'll literally come down almost from above. And so it doesn't help if you try to hide behind a rock, because you'll probably hit them anyway. Now he's almost at maximum range there, because you can see the line between him and the target have suddenly become greyed out. And that means that, yep, you see that there? You can see the rescue flattens at a point a short distance away from those tanks. He can now hit the Chinook, but it's at maximum range, and he's letting it dial in. Rounds out on the Chinook. Lands just in front of him. He pulled back just in time. But the problem is that the Chinook now knows that there's Arty firing in this direction. So they're going to be a little more unpredictable. But the way to do that is to watch where they go up to take a shot and then fire at that spot. Yes, perfect hit there. Right onto the engine deck, 560 hit points. But you notice that Moose has actually come over the ridgeline, so he's now exposed. But he is starting to get hits at very long range. Well, there's a Cavalier there. The new Tier 5 British medium. Rounds out. Long flight time. Oh, kill shot. That was definitely a penetration on the engine deck. And you can see the M7 is trying to hide underneath the awning of that house, or underneath the roof. But he's not going to be able to, because the shell is actually going to come down from above on top of him. There you go. And he's out of the game. So, 2 kills now for Moose. Now, one of the other good things about the Grille is the fast reload. It's 18.9, is that 99 seconds? Yes. So it's not the same speed as the M44, but it's still pretty good. Say the M44 will do up to 16, maybe even 15 seconds, depending on the configuration, but the Grille is still a firm favourite amongst many players, simply because it can be incredibly accurate in the right hands. And that's a direct hit on the KV-1. At least I thought it was a direct hit. They said close, but it looked to me to be right on target. Okay, even these tanks are pulling back. It's almost like they know that an Arty round is lined up. Rounds out in the KV-1. Lands near him. Now, one of the changes that they made recently when they put the Arty vehicles into the collector's tab is they actually increased the amount of ammunition that these Artys can carry. And the Grille was one of the beneficiaries of that, because now there's more rounds on the Grille that you can play with. Unfortunately there, we lost our M4A1, but they lost their KV-1. Looking around for a target we can hit from here, and we found the IKV-103. Now, if he stays where he is, and he's a tank destroyer, so they tend to stay rather still. Rounds out. Here we go. Yes! That's a direct hit. So 3 kills now. Now there's a deadly opponent, the KV-222, which has got a tier 7 hull, the hull of a KV-3, when it comes to armor, but only a tier 5 turret. Now, potentially, he's got the high caliber from that shot, but he'll have to keep working on it. And there's an enemy tank near their cap. It's quite a deadly one as well. It's a Panzer V4, which is a tank. Oh, there goes the KV-220. The Panzer V4 has got the hull of a Panther, but it's got the turret of a Panzer Mark IV. So it's got a deadly fire rate and a slightly better hull than the Mark IV. Unfortunately, this means now that he's caught between the devil and the deep blue sea, you might say, because if he goes further down the railway line, the enemy are going to see him and shoot him from that direction. And if he doesn't move further away, if he moves towards the cap area, yep, that Panzer V4 is going to find him. Lining up a shot on the KV-1. He can just get it in, but he needs to be very accurate. Dialed in fully. Rounds out. Let's see if this goes in. No, hits the building. Okay, they're both going to go in at the same time. One's firing from one direction and the KV-1 goes down. Unfortunately, an M4A1's turned up at our cap. Panzer V4 has disappeared. And although that M4A1 was capping for a brief moment, he's no longer in the game. It may be a good thing actually that the KV-1 stayed behind to stop these guys coming in. And it could be that the Panzer V4 departed the area because he was very low on hit points. We're following the Chinook. Rounds out. Oh, what a shot! Right on target. That's 5 kills. One more, he gets the Top Gun. He's following the M10 RBFM, who's very low on hit points. And unfortunately, he's been killed. And now the enemy's coming in. And they're coming in from the other side. And there was the Panzer V4. He actually went to town. And all of our teammates in the town have been wiped out. So Moose is trying to find a good position so that he can get shots on these enemies as they make their way into town. Or rather when they come out of the town, not going into town. He's got the help of the T-67 who's spotting, but he's aiming where he thinks the S-35CA, the bathtub, is going to come from. And there he is. Pulling back, dialing in. Rounds out. Direct hit again! And that's the Top Gun. And the T-67 was happy. He's ticked affirmative. So it's 3-all now. Each side has got a heavy tank. We've got a tank destroyer and a Grille. The enemy team has got 2 Artys. A Grille and an M41 HMC. And I think that puts us with the advantage now. T-67 needs to stay alive though, so he mustn't do anything rash. If he comes across that T1 Heavy, he could be easily taken out with a couple of shots. He's dashing into town to see if he can find someone. But Moose, well, Moose looks like he's going to be heading towards the enemy cap area, but he'll use the tree line to mask his approach because he doesn't really want to get found by that T1 Heavy. T-67 hasn't found anyone yet. And I don't believe that the T1 Heavy has actually been seen yet as well. Not to my recollection. There's the M41 HMC. He stopped to take a shot. Rounds out. Oh, we moved just a little bit and avoided the shell. Okay, we dialed in on that spot. We're just waiting for the reload to complete. He'll probably won't be there though when our shell goes in. Runs out straight away. Nope, he's not there anymore. He's moved. Ah, now we can see where he might be. The tree fell. He's firing into the tree just to see if anybody's at home. Doesn't appear so. There's the T1 Heavy. Dialing in. Rounds out. Oh, lovely. Direct hit on the engine deck for 263. He's going to try again. T1 Heavy's firing at the T67, but so is the enemy Arty, and he gets the T67, which now means it's down to Moose and the KV-1. And because the T1 Heavy stopped suddenly, he couldn't get that aim on target. So the KV-1's now going to have to spot for us. Let's hope he doesn't get wiped out like the T67 did. The thing about T67 though is he did stay rather still down by the river. He came up to spot and found the M41, who saw him and he pulled back. But the problem was that he stayed rather still, and the T67's best asset was its mobility. If he kept on the move, I don't think the T1 Heavy would have been able to keep up with him. Okay, we're aiming ahead of the path of the KV-1, and there's one of the enemy right now. It's the T1 Heavy. He moved. We're trying to dial in on his position. He's shooting at our KV-1. Rounds out the T1. We get a hit for 171, but it's too late. We've lost the KV-1. Oh dear, now that makes it really difficult. Moose has only got 315 hit points, but the enemy combined is 1041. As you can see from the mods in the top bar. And that includes 2 Artys. It's going to be really difficult for him to win this. The Grille actually moves at exactly the same speed as the Hetzer. Just in case you're inquiring, they both carry the same chassis as such. It's just the upper works, the hull is slightly different. The hull to the Grille is very similar to the hull to the Marders. Several of the Marders were made with virtually identical gun mounts. It's just the one for the Grille carries a 15cm gun, whilst the Marders were carrying different caliber guns altogether, 75mm guns instead. Well, he's decided to go right to the edge, to the bush, see if anyone's coming in this direction. There's only 2 minutes left now, 2-minute hooter. And one of the enemies coming this way, and it's a Grille. Now, I'm not sure that he was seen. His sixth sense didn't go off. He shotguns the Grille and was seen, of course. And he gets hit by the M41 HMC, but not badly. And the Grille is still coming up. And he might be reloaded in time, because the Grille did have a go. In which case he can shotgun him at close range. And he gets that kill as well. So 7 kills. He's being chased by the T1 Heavy now. And the clock's about to run out. The only question now is, can he get away from that T1 Heavy in time? And here he comes. Oh, no. Well, sometimes the bear gets you. Sometimes you get the bear. On this occasion, the bear got him. Let's have a look at the end of battle stats. Well, it's an ace tanker for Moose in the Grille. He managed to get a Bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits in this one. He got 25. He got a Gore's medal for doing more damage than 8 times the hit points of his own vehicle. A Top Gun for getting at least 6 kills. He got 7, and a High Caliber for dealing the most damage in the game. But sadly, his team died off. They just weren't capable of taking out that T1 Heavy. And the rest of his team folded away, and so he was the only one left, and in the end, yes, he went down as well. So he did get the highest damage in the game with 3,587. The next highest scorer being that Panzer V4 with 2,023, and after that the KV-220 with 1,505. When it came to kills, he had the highest number with 7, then 4 kills for the T67 and 4 kills for the enemy Grille that he took out, and only 3 kills for that T1 Heavy. And when it came to base XP, it was the Panzer V4 who managed to get the most with 1,074, and then the KV-222 with 957, and then it's Moose with 753, so he was third on base XP, even though he was on the losing team. I suppose that's down to the fact that he did do the highest damage in the game. He fired 22 shots, got 11 direct hits, 6 penetration, 11 splash. Damage of 3,587 hit points, of which 2,842 were at more than 300 meters. He received 2 hits, 2 were penetrations, I'm afraid. Yeah, both from the T1 Heavy, I think it was. And, well, 1 hit was by way of splash damage. That was actually from the M41 HMC, because the Grille missed his shot altogether. He also spotted 1 enemy vehicle, that was the Grille, damaged 11 of the enemy, killed 7, and did 144 hit points of stun assist off 9 stuns. On a premium count, he earned 33,430 credits, got 27,394 from personal reserves, and 3,095 for the Achievements Award of getting an Epic or Battle Hero medal in a losing or drawn game. So his total, 82,182 credits, and after repair and ammunition resupply, took away a profit of 69,193 credits, and that would be a good score even if that was a winning game. 753 base XP, 414 for the Achievements Award, 876 from personal reserves, took away 2,627 experience points altogether. So, yeah, pretty good in terms of medals, but unfortunately, yeah, in the end, you were let down by your team. You did as much as you could under the circumstances, but there's no way you can fight a heavy tank who's determined to kill you, as well as Arty coming in from other directions. Although I must admit, I actually have taken out T1 Heavy myself, but it was with a Bishop Arty, and it was face to face, and the guy came around the corner, and I shot him right in the face at close range. He pulled back round the corner, sort of shook his head, came back round out the corner again, and I'd reloaded and I finished him off with the second round. So yes, I think he made a bit of a mistake, whereas Moose, well, yes, I think he was a bit worried that if he got found by that T1 Heavy, he would get taken out straight away, and so rather than face the T1, he wanted to go after the, or at least hide at the back and wait for somebody else to turn up. Well, at least he got the Grille, that's something. If you enjoyed that replay, please give this video a like and do subscribe to our channel, please. And thanks for watching.